Hello guys, my name is Kenny and welcome once again to another episode of the best tier 4 tier tanks, and today we are gonna be at tier 8. Oh boy, this is gonna be... No really, this will be a goddamn wall of China length of a video, as there are so many tier 8 tanks that I'm not actually going to show you a regular list of 5 tanks, but instead of that I'll show you a list of 8 tanks, and plus to that I'll allow there to be 2 tanks that are currently not available in a shop, instead of the regular 1 tank per list. Either way, let's quit talking and let's get to the actual list. Well, before that quit talking part, cause I'm gonna have to talk a lot. Why? First thing on this list is gonna be the Now, don't close this video just yet. I know that fat as well. Oops, fat shaming that I don't give a fuck about shouldn't be on this list. I know, but man, just look at it. It's so huge and huge. No, just kidding. Now for real, I truly feel as if this tank was heavily underestimated. I know it is a huge target and all, but its guns are just huge. It can pick one out of 2 different guns. First one is the 15cm howitzer you can find on a tier 6 OI with just a lot faster reload. Since you're a tier 8 after all, it somehow has to kill those tier 8 opponents. And the second one is an actual 100 caliber tier 8 gun. The first option is mostly for just some brainless fun, and for some reason is a bit more competitive than the second option as well. It has 910 alpha damage with just 16.3 seconds long reload, giving it a pretty amazing 2500 DPM. Thankfully, this gun has incredibly low accuracy, and mainly look at this. Geez, just like the freaking North Korea. Short, fat, and with a missile range shorter than the cum stain on the rag next to me. Well, I'd argue about the short part. And then we get a second gun, which is actually my favorite, as it feels as an actual gun and not just some freaking marshmallow shooter. The fact that this exists leaves me questioning my own existence. Anyways, this gun has 330 alpha damage, which is rather alright for its tier, and a pretty alright reload speed of 9 seconds, giving it above average DPM of 2220.28. That's a lot of 2s. Surprisingly enough, this tank has 215 penetration as well. This penetration is more than enough for its tier. Just to make you understand, an average penetration at this tier is about 203. Anyways, now to the other stats. Firstly, a fake ass. This tank has crushingly fake armor all around, especially at the front and the rear. However, it is rather poorly angled. You see, the Hitler's megalomania with tanks was firstly noticeable in Japan. Thankfully for the real world, sadly for us World of Tanks players, their engineers had absolutely no idea how the fuck the physics work and did not even angle the armor like at all. So the effective armor thickness will go down to only about 205, 215 at the frontal upper plate and the front of the turret, which are surprisingly considered as weak spots of this tank. Still pretty thick. This as well means that the 2 taps a day will keep the OHO away. But you all motherfuckers gonna get cold this way. And you will pay. I'll just show myself a way out. The rest of the stats are shit. Well, actually just a mobility. It really moves like a fat ass American with a riot shield. Thankfully, it has a nice view range of 380, 10 degrees of gun depression everywhere apart from the parts where we actually need to have it, amazing ammo capacity, and its imperial greatness. Legends say that getting a Rosane's Hero's Medal while driving this tank allows you to marry your waifu in real life, but that's another story. The 7th place was taken by... Wait, did I just jump from number 1 to number 7? First thing on this list is gonna be the... Oh! Yep, I did. But you probably want to know the tank. Well, it's the racism dog itself. Since the rework of the light tanks in the 9.18, which was fucking pointless if you would ask me, the Bulldog became far less powerful thanks to the rather sensible nerfing of its autoloader. and mainly thanks to the fact that stats remain more or less the same while being moved up by a tier to a tier 8, where we had this black imposter whose existence historically makes probably as much sense as a black guy playing L. Like, what the fuck, man? A person literally described as white as a wall, thanks to the wall never going outside sort of a thing is played by a black guy. Seriously, what's next? Milk being racist for being white? Shit being racist for being brown? Come on, man. As well, this guy is literally playing a douchebag, bro. What? But now back to the Black Dog. This tank was since ever considered as one of the most powerful lights around this tier. More so since 9.18 as its stats were barely even touched, while every other light tank stats were terribly nerfed. Now it always had some good mobility thanks to its excellent ground resistances. Guess that this fast food addiction of our beloved Americans was good at least for something. For once. A month. Or a week at most. But why the fuck do you eat fast food almost every single day? Like, what the fuck, man? Either way, this high mobility allows you You truly don't want to hear me after a cup of coffee. Second reason why it's so good is its gun, which is pretty damn amazing for a light tank. It has insanely high DPM for a light tank, a rather high penetration for a light tank, great alpha for a light tank, and great gun handling for a light tank. Yep, it's just so bad with light tanks. But this one is amazing for a light tank. Just kidding. The only problem it has are the absolute morons driving it around thinking they can use its armor. Oh, and the only reason why it's so low on this list is the fact that I'm fucking lazy and that actually makes the number 3 spot. The sixth tank is gonna be the WZ-131.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker!
You wouldn't even believe how long I waited to do this. Either way, let's start off with saying that this tank has lower DPM than the Black Dog, but higher alpha damage and penetration. Wait, I thought that Chinese got small dongs. Geez, step up your game, Americans. Just look at the freaking Russians outgrowing you. Alright, I'll shut the fuck up. Anyways, firstly, the WZ is far less accurate than the Black Dog. Secondarily, wait a second, aren't blacks known for... Okay, I'll stop with that already. That was more than enough racism for now, but still. Secondarily, the WZ is far more mobile than the Black Dog, thanks to its higher horsepower ton ratio and even lower ground resistances. Don't know what kind of black magic fuckery is responsible for this, but this tank is literally sliding around the battlefield. And lastly, this tank has armor that can sometimes bounce something. Yeah, it's more of a miracle sort of a thingy, but it can happen nonetheless, unlike while driving the Black Dog where it can block shit. Oh, and this tank, thanks to being a little fucking pancake, has a shit ton of camo, unlike the Black Dog that's gonna be visible from behind 2 walls. The fifth tank, or more precisely tanks, are gonna be the UDES-03 and the Stritzwang S1. They both had equally as many points in my ranking, and mainly they are essentially the same tank with only very minor differences. So let me just talk about the UDES-03, as it is the one that is far easier to get and more played, obviously, because it's free to play. Anyways, these tanks feature deadly guns, which aren't actually all that deadly. Oh, I forgot, siege motherfucking mode. For only about 200 hours spent by non-premium grinding or 15 hours spent in an actual job, hopefully not by jerking, you can make your tank do this. Wow. This mode allows you to elevate your gun up to 20 degrees and press it further than my mental health for the past couple of years. But that's not all. It will as well increase your DPM to be at least somewhat comparable to the other DEDs and make you the most accurate tank at a tier 8. Astonishing. No, really, this tank is all about the siege mode, which allows you to have at least somewhat decent DPM, amazing accuracy, and well, allows you to pretty much shoot, because without it, you literally cannot move with your gun. This would result in you driving around the battlefield going on like little injection. And with the armor of both these tanks, you did, and that's nothing else than scrap metal within 2 seconds of you encountering your first enemy. Thankfully, by crying to Wargaming for removal of all of those camping shits, we got an entire tree branch of TDs revolving around just, well, camping. And the UDES is one of them. Hooray! In fact, the UDES is the stealthiest tank in the game while standing, which is just amazing for you, not your foes. Oh, and as well, your camo net and binos won't deactivate while turning if you are in a siege mode, obviously. Lastly, you fast as fuck, boy! But the armor is the difference between these two tanks. While the UDS-03 is driving around like a crazy madman with its 26 horsepower to ton ratio, the Sturzfanges one is nearly 60% heavier for some unknown reason. Seriously, it is even smaller. It is just 10mm more of all-around armor, and its mobility went down by 10 horsepower to ton ratio. Like, what the fuck? Why? And lastly, these tanks got guns with 288 penetration. 288. You can make a little shish kebab out of the enemy team with this penetration. Some tanks got premium rounds that don't have as much penetration, and you, or more precisely these tanks, got it as standard freaking rounds, which are APCR on top of that. So you got a freaking laser pointer instead of a gun that is super accurate and is gonna penetrating everything. The fourth tank on this list is gonna be the Daredevil. Well, did you truly think that this list would get around before the revolver itself? It literally had to be nerfed from one-shotting enemies. Once again in a wrong game, aren't I? Either way, since this tank's rather recent buff, yes, I'm most likely going to say that phrase a lot throughout the upcoming couple of minutes, this tank became a support tank so ridiculously powerful, it may just go frontline and ask for support. I'd rather not do that, to be honest. It's still just a recolored Sherman with a huge ass dong strapped onto it, and as you all might know, Shermans were nothing more than budget tanks. So the armor is obviously just glorified cardboard. The gun on the other hand, oh boy, that's a whole other story. This is a literal American sniper, except that it's not American because it was sold to the biggest, which found out that the gun is completely worthless, so they sold it for bottle caps for the upcoming World War III and strapped an actual gun on top of it. This gun has alpha damage comparable to a TD, the highest medium tank alpha damage at a tier 8, if this tank could be considered a medium obviously. In fact, even the accuracy is pretty damn good, so the gun is almost siege-ish. Sadly, well, it takes probably as long for this tank to reload as it takes my fucking government to build one single goddamn road. Jesus fuck! I feel like we have just had 20th anniversary of the first planned finish of this road. I'm not even kidding with this. However, you get amazing turret rotation as if you were, you know, an ordinary medium. Which is pretty damn nice. As well, you get a gun depression and everything of regular medium except for, well, the armor and mobility. So generally said, you are a casual American engineering that's worth something. More precisely, the only thing that is worth something about this tank is the gun. And the gun is not American. So yeah. Either way, this tank, despite its significant buff of pretty much everything, is still nothing more than a support tank, good only for, well, side shots.